I'm Mick. Welcome to the Front Porch of America project. Hop in. We're hitting the road from Nashville, Tennessee, driving 8,500 miles in 14 days to investigate what's really going on in America. Hop in the back. It's gonna be a wild ride. Welcome back to the Front Porch of America. In today's adventure, we're going to continue through New York City and then travel westward to find out how living in a big city or a small town affects the way you see the world. A little early to be drinking, isn't it? Every time you say something I disagree with, I'm going to drink. You're an idiot. Okay, so here's moment 152 of my friends making fun of me. This is me getting prettied up before I do a shoot in my apartment. How does he make those magical moments happen? Well, folks, you're looking at it. A map of America and a dream. Steve lives in New York City in Spanish Harlem. He's worked at a New York City restaurant and now does social science research for the Russell Sage Foundation. His opinion is always very interesting to me because his job is to research social issues.
I grew up upstate, and I grew up in the outside the Adirondacks. My parents live in central New York, Syracuse area.
Same
now.
hometown.
Right. I went to Buffalo for school, and now I live in the city. I have New York State pretty well covered. More counties in New York went for Trump than went for Hillary, and that's a more urban-rural divide. I
lived in New York for 10 years, and for as cosmopolitan and sophisticated and whatever else you want to call it, it is an echo chamber. You know, it's the liberal orthodoxy there is stronger than almost anywhere else.
The middle part of the country, or like the South and things like that, people really value like the earnest, hardworking American. That's a big part of the American identity.
I have family upstate New York who have never been in New York City. I have aunts who are in their 50s who've never been in New York City, and they live in upstate New York.
Okay.
And I have coworkers and friends in New York who have never been outside of the city.
The coasts, it's all about what you do for a living. People here are probably not as interested to hear what somebody in Montana or Alabama has to say about North Korean relations.
If I'm going to pretend that I understand what someone in a little city who was like a coal miner who voted for our president, if I can try to understand where they're coming from, I'd be lying to you.
Right.
Because I can't.
Most of the people there surround themselves with people that think what they think and read what they read and watch the plays that they watch and that sort of thing. It's almost like folks that don't think and believe those things are barbarians.
People in places outside of major cities are much nicer, much friendlier. They do have their own misconceptions about what city life is like and what happens in places with lots of people and lots of different types of people.
You have people who grow up in the city who don't need to get a driver's license.
Right.
I have a friend who just moved to Colorado from the city, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to learn how to drive." He's 30.
Right.
And no, but this is such a rite of passage in so much of the country is you turn 16, you get your driver's license.
Sure.
That is a cultural thing that we do.
I had a buddy who went home to Indiana recently, and his friend was introducing him as the liberal from California. And everybody in the bar was going off on him. All you guys do is complain and cry. And he goes, honestly, you're coming off as really angry to me.
People are going to have stereotypes. They're going to start from a bias of position. It's their willingness and ability to adapt that to the actual facts on the ground.
You can't tell me that somebody who lives on a sheep farm in Montana in the middle of nowhere is going to have the same experience as a 16-year-old black kid from Harlem.
But here's the thing is that a lot of people from those small towns move here. You lived here. And you're from a small town, and you lived here.
When I'm on Loch Ness, I turn to an old favorite, Monster's Choice. It's the favorite dram of the cryptozoological animals. Tastes like mystery. Monster's Choice. Strong enough for Nessie, good enough for me.
guitar in your hands, it's a lot harder to express yourself. So your facial expressions really have to come out stronger than usual. Not to the point where you're like cheesy overacting, but you want people to get what you're trying to say by just looking at your eyes, like even if this was blocked.
Pursuing my dreams in music has allowed me the opportunity to live all over this great country. I've lived in a big city, downtown Hollywood, where I learned the value of open-mindedness and forward thinking. Music's also brought me back home to Syracuse, where I learned the values of small-town compassion and being close to family. Sitting here now in Nashville, I wonder if we couldn't combine the best of both worlds to have a better outlook on life. Chasing your dreams and moving around the country to do it was the inspiration for our song Follow Through. Take a listen.
We said goodbye to home, said goodbye to friends. Packed up all we own, rolled the dice again. I know you're scared, 'cause I am too, to leave what's comfortable for something new.
Join us on our next episode where we begin our journey westward, stopping through my hometown of Syracuse, New York. We're going to be asking folks about everyone's favorite topic, President Trump. And it's going to get spicy.
Yeah, no jazz hands.
Might get a little bit spicy.
Dreams come true. You follow me, I'll follow you. Girl, let's follow through.
Front Porch of America Project.
Front Porch of America Project.
The Front Porch of America Project.
Front Porch of
Oh
America
my God,
Project.
it's the Front Porch of America
Front
Project.
Porch of America Project.